welcome again to episode 18 of the News That Broke Glass. Today is the 8th of July. This was meant to be done yesterday. As always, it's done late because work, life, and there's too much fucking wrestling to keep track of at the fucking minute. Jesus fucking Christ. So I'm just going to start this as fast as humanly possible and go over reviews of the 4 shows that happened last weekend for 4th of July, and then go over the 2 Japanese shows that fucking happened 4th and 5th of July for FMWE and Freedom. So now, first of all, we'll go over PFX 9. This was on July 3rd, the Field of Fear. Now, it was meant to be in the Bloodshed. Apparently they're meant to be going back to the Bloodshed like once every month or so. But it wasn't in the Bloodshed. Apparently the land's been sold. This is maybe the last time we're ever going to be in Field of Fear, Bloodshed area. So it was in the Field of Fear. What can you do? Somebody sold the land, fair enough. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Pit was still there. It was still fucking awesome. Just go over the matches, then go over my favourite 3 matches. So Gary J beat Azrael in the first opening match. Thank the fucking Lord the fucking Gary J got a win. I love Gary J. Really deserves his fucking win. Him and Azrael were fucking chopping the fuck out of each other. Their chests were like fucking raw meat by the end of it. Good match. Lots of chops, lots of kicks, lots of forearms. Gary J is like one of the best forearms like in the business. Looks so fucking snug and stiff. Really fucking good. Then he won. Azrael's welcome back chant. I believe Danny came out to say for Azrael, or maybe wrote something on Facebook. Anyway, Azrael will be back, I assume, at some point. Next match, the Bev was against Vincent Nothing. Ricky Shane Page's former tag team partner, maybe still tag team partner in some places. I have no idea. I'm not a big fan of Vincent Nothing. I mean, he's pretty good, but I mean, he pretty much just like beat the shit out the Bev for like 95% of the match. And then the Bev won, which was great, because I love Bobby Beverly, one of my favourite guys in ICW and in independent wrestling. Then Vincent Nothing, Danny DeMato did come out for this one and said Vincent Nothing will be back, and everybody wanted him back. I'm not that keen on him. He's a good wrestler, but for my particular tastes in wrestling, he's not my cup of tea. Whatever. Next, we had Satu Jin against Max the Impaler, who is an awesome. I think this was my girlfriend was watching this match with me, and she was very taken aback by Max the Impaler and thought she had quite a cool look, or they had quite a cool look. Sorry, them. So that match was good. Satu won. I thought Max the Impaler was going to squash Satu Jin. Satu Jin won that match. Satu Jin's fucking in a tear in ICW. Another good match, pretty good. Not as violent as I would maybe want it to be, but hey ho, what can you do? Then we got the match of the night, in my opinion, which was Neil Diamond Cutter beat Atticus Cogar. Cogar is back in ICW after a little. I think the last time he was there he wasn't there for Boardwalk Buds. He was there in the Farewell to the Pawn Shop. It was his last match against Reed Bentley for ICW. Neil beat him. Fucking Neil Diamond Cutter is getting pushed to the moon, as he fucking should be. He should be the next American Deathmatch champion. Neil beat him with a big splash onto the guardrail. And afterwards, Atticus stole Neil Diamond Cutter's staple gun Bob. You cunt, Atticus. You naughty man. So Neil Diamond Cutter's going to apparently attack Atticus Cogar anywhere and get back his staple gun. Maybe in Indianapolis this weekend, who knows? And then we got the second of our co-main event. Well, no, sorry. I would say that I thought this would have been main event of the night. But hey, it was Dan Maff beats Akira in a very, very good, brutal, hard-hitting, destructive fucking match, burning hammers and all sorts of shit. Maff beat Akira in Akira's quest to fight Masada in Texas this August, and then Johnny Murdoch came out after it to set up their match for the following night, NHB 14. And I can't believe Dan Maff said this. Akira should make a bigger point of this in like promos and stuff. Dan Maff said that Akira was on the undercard, and he said that me and John Wayne Murdoch, we've got the undercard guys mentioning Akira, look up to him and Dan Maff. I suppose Dan Maff and John Wayne Murdoch are pretty much main event guys, but I would not say Akira's on the undercard by any means. And then what do we have next? We had a match I was probably most looking forward to, aside from Neil Diamond Cutter and Atticus, was Eric Ryan against Dale Patrick. Dale Patrick still fucking limping about, was fucked foot. Great match, shopping cart involved, and I think Dale Patrick's just going to give Eric Ryan a choke slam on this barbed wire board on top of the shopping cart. Ryan done a round, snuff stomp, nobody beats the snuff stomp. And Dale Patrick's lost, unfortunately. Eric Ryan wins, so good. Glad to see Eric Ryan back in ICW Olds Barred as well, because he wasn't there for Boardwalk Buds either. And then we got our main event. John Wayne Murdoch said something I've also said, which is every match he's in shouldn't be non-title. No, fuck the non-title shit. Every match he's in should be for the North American Deathmatch Championship. And John Wayne Murdoch beat Jeff Cannonball in a relatively short match, but for this one we did actually get panes of glass and some light tubes. So that was pretty good. This is the best thing I will say about ICW. There's one thing I will go on to. A lot of the matches are very, very short, especially for the pit fighter. Like watching the GCW Backyard show, fair enough, it's backyard, it's very, very fun, it's exciting, there's fireworks, there's pools, there's flips and dives in the pools and stuff. But my god, it was a long show. Jesus Christ, what a long fucking show that was. Anyway, my top 3 matches for PFX 9 before we move swiftly on to the rest of these fucking reviews. Number 3 was Ryan and Patrick's. Number 2, surprisingly, was Jay and Azrael. And number 1 was NDC against Atticus Kogar. What a great way to kick off the shows that I watched. Then, for the next night, I didn't manage to catch. I started watching the live stream of the FMWE, the July 4th show for Onita. And Onita won, by the way. His team beat Kobayashi's team, so Kobayashi's now going to have his bike destroyed and blown up. The stream was quite choppy and kind of shit. I mean, it was only like, what, £9? £6 or something? It was on at like 7 o'clock in the morning for me. I didn't watch the match. The explosions were awesome. There was a couple of explosions I'll just show you here. The rest of the card was interesting. The Brahmins were there. There was like a sort of piss take death match, the opening thing where they had like tinsel over the ropes and they were kind of taking the piss at AEW and stuff, which was quite funny. The main event was awesome. Like the explosions, there was probably, I'd say probably 3 explosions. 3 main ones anyway, just typical. Like I really want to see FMW stuff. It's FMWE now, you're probably just going to get one big major death match per show, and the rest of the show is just going to be kind of filled up with like normal stuff and comedy stuff. But Drew Parker was there. Good to see Drew Parker there, and I'll mention Drew Parker later because Drew Parker is coming back to the motherfucking United States for GCW's Homecoming, which, and if I wrote this down properly, is July 24th and 25th at the Showboat for the end of the month. So Drew Parker has returned to the States, and I would 100% assume that he will probably be wrestling both nights, and I would like to see him fight Atticus Kogar and Alex Colon. Anyway, for the FMWE thing, after the match, Shadow WX came down and we're chatting to Onita. I have no idea what they were saying. I don't speak Japanese, unfortunately. But then Shadow WX blew the fucking fire on Onita and fucking set him ablaze. It was fucking mental. So the FMWE, that was the FMWE show. Alright, I mean, I assume there's replays. I'm not even checked if there's replays, but I watched it. There's bits of it were kind of choppy and cutting out and stuff like that, but hey ho, whatever. I managed to watch the majority of it, and the main event was pretty good. And explosions, fuck yeah. Now, moving on to No Peace Underground. This was on July 4th. The show's called This Hell Is Home, and we'll just go through the card. So, Yoya beat Gabriel Sky. I did not watch that match because when that came on, I was busy and I managed to only just catch the very start of the second match, which was Hardway Heater against Bam Sullivan. That match was fucking awesome. I think this is the first time I've ever actually seen Hardway Heater, to my recollection. But they were doing fucking cool shit. Bam Sullivan did this fucking like dive off the stage with 2 like light tubes and a sort of cross around his back and then a flip to the outside. They were fucking beating the fuck out of each other with light tubes and shit. Really, really bloody, brutal match. Exactly what you want to see in No Peace Underground. And Hardway Heater beat Bam Sullivan. My god. Bam Sullivan. What the hell's going on, young man? Then next match we got the End beat the Young Dragons. Interesting to see the Young Dragons in No Peace Underground. I think it was Josh Crane's debut. Dale Patrick's. The final spot for this, it's just pretty brutal, bloody, violent match. They kind of brought out a table or a door with like a light tube, like wine rack thing on it. And Odinson and Paro like double powerbomb thing into each other. They double powerbombed the Young Dragons through the fucking light tube thing and won. That was fucking good. The next match we got Pondo, Madman Pondo, who I thought was still injured. was fighting Remington Thor, another guy I don't think I've seen before. I think he's at the AWR Deathmatch tournament this weekend. So's Pondo. Pretty good match. Like, Pondo was fucking, like, for a man of his size especially, he was doing some fucking crazy shit. He did the Pondo like dive, he usually does it. Sets somebody up in a chair, puts the pane of glass on them, and it's obviously dove off the stage as opposed to the ropes right through. It's fucking great. And Pondo's final spot, he's got so many like different little gimmicks. Pondo, he's got like the stop sign, bowling ball, the sort of baseball bat with a saw blade on it. And he finished off Remington Thor, who I thought did a really good job, with a cinder block to head and a fucking sledgehammer through the cinder block. And after Pondo smashed his head in with a cinder block and a sledgehammer, he raised his hand at the end, so good for him. Then we got Jamie Senegal beat Kennedy Copeland. Really like Kennedy Copeland, like Jamie Senegal as well. This match was good. There was a lot of sort of fanning about with like putting fireworks up people's arseholes and trying to light them off, and they wouldn't light and the lighters wouldn't work and stuff. But eventually they did get one, and a fireworks shot out of Jamie Senegal's asshole, which was amusing. Jamie Senegal won, unfortunately, but hey-ho, Kennedy Copeland will have her day. Next we had a match which I remember doing something else while the match was on. Ace Austin against Treehouse Lee. The only thing I do remember was the finish. Treehouse Lee, off the stage to Ace Austin on the floor, did this fucking cool, sick, like spinning elbow drop thing. That was awesome. Like that. Didn't see much else of the match though, because something happened and I missed most of that match. Then we get to the co-main event, which was my favourite personal match of the night, which was Sawyer Wreck, who's a fucking monster, beat Mickey Knuckles. Holy fuck, she beat Mickey Knuckles in a light tube violent death match. Like, this reminded me a lot of the sort of brutality and the viciousness that we got the last time in No Peace Underground with Atticus and Casanova Valentine. Just spattering, like, just no regard for each other's safety, beating the shit out of each other with light tubes. And Kennedy Copeland got a $1 bill or a $20 bill stapled to her tongue, and Mickey Knuckles got a $20 bill stapled to her vagina. So, hey ho, it's all fair in No Peace Underground. Then there was a massive shopping cart full of light tubes and stuff. Oh, I will say there was one of the sick bumps during the Kennedy Copeland match I forgot to mention. She was put in a shopping trolley and pushed off the stage by Jamie Senegal through a fucking table, and she hit the table and then she fucking came out the shopping cart and I thought her head hit the fucking floor. That was sick. But then this match, I believe the final spot was Sawyer Wreck chokeslammed Mickey Knuckles on top of light bulbs on top of the shopping cart and won. I couldn't believe Sawyer Wreck beat Mickey Knuckles. One of the best matches of the whole weekend for me personally. Two women are fucking awesome. Sawyer Wreck has got a fucking great career ahead of her. Get her in some of those deathmatch tournaments out on the West Coast. What did we have in the final match? I personally thought Sawyer Wreck, Mickey Knuckles should have main evented, but hey ho, that's just my opinion. Matthew Justice beats Lord Crew. This match was alright. No light tubes, just chairs, doors, fighting all around everywhere. Good match, good for Lord Crew getting a main event. And at the end of the day, Matthew Justice, there was a sort of DVD suplexy thing onto like a guardrail set up over the stage and another guardrail. And Matthew Justice, I believe, won with like a big splash thing. And Matthew Justice walking around, and there was a guy in the crowd. Fucking hell, cat's gone mental again. The guy in the crowd with his hoodie up. Oh my god, it's EC3. EC3 said to Matthew Justice, he went, "You've been warned," and then he walked away. And that was the end of the show. So you're going to get EC3 against Matthew Justice. I mean, I like Matthew Justice, but I like him when he's fighting people like Masato Tanaka and, you know, Matt Tremont and stuff, where they're just bashing the fuck at each other with chairs and stuff. But he's going to be fighting EC3. It might be good. I don't know, make it a death match. Who knows? Could be interesting. But my best two matches of that show were 3, The End against Young Dragons. I was very surprised by that match. I don't know why. I mean, all 4 guys are great, but I thought it was really good. Number 2 was Heater against Bam Sullivan. Good for Hardway Heater to win. And number 1, as I've said before, Sawyer Wreck against Mickey Knuckles. Now, we move on to ICW No Holds Barred 14. The 3rd show of the weekend. The 4th show of the weekend. At the Field of Fear, this was on July 4th, Independence Day. And this was a fucking awesome show. It's probably my favourite show. You can probably tell I'm a very big fan of ICW No Holds Barred. I don't know if that comes across in the videos or not. It's just what I want. Death matches and violence and hard hitting shit. So first match we got Shane Mercer beat Gary J. I thought Gary J was going to lose. Unfortunately, did put up a good fucking show and fucking sick fucking throws like from the ring to the fucking chairs on the outside, and I think Shane Mercer gave him like a suplex or a choke slam or something like over the outside as well. Like sick fucking shit. Match was good, quite short. Forearms, big strong power moves. Gary J, great performance as always. Shane Mercer's always good. And then we move on to the second match, which was a debut for Mitch fucking Vallon, and he went over like a motherfucker. Everybody loves Mitch Vallon. Everybody loves that. I love it. I was doing it at my house, and I wasn't even that drunk by this point. But there was like fucking sick fucking spots. There was like a sort of like spade shovely thing with like gusset plates all over it. Satu smacked fucking Mitch Vallon in the back, and they're all stuck in his back, and he was pooling blood. They were both fucking pooling blood. There was light tubes and gusset plates, and it was violent and a long match as well. I think it went about 15 minutes. Satujin wins, which is pretty good for for debuting people usually to lose, unless they're Ruben Steele. He should win every match. But Satujin won. It was fucking awesome, really violent, really bloody, great for Mitch Vallon. I'm usually used to seeing Mitch Vallon in like hardcore matches, not so much like death match stuff. In H2O, he excelled in this. He really fucking deserves to be there. And afterwards, Danny came out and just said, "Yeah, you're fucking Carnival was right for telling you to fucking tell me to book you." So that was fucking good. And speaking of Jeff Cannibal, he was next against one of my favourite guys on the independents, Herzog. And this match was fucking awesome as well. This was like brutal and violent, and we got the carpet strip spot on fucking Herzog's hair. I mean, how the fuck? That's like his spot. He gets carpet strips fucking hitting his head and stuck in his hair. Herzog lost a boot. They done a short soda review, and Herzog didn't want to drink the soda review because he said it tasted like shit. And Cannibal broke the bottle and carving his face up with a broken glass and shit. It was fucking good. Cannibal won. I mean, obviously Herzog's debuting. I didn't expect him to win. But it was good. Then Herzog cut a Baska shouting promo in his native tongue, which was really entertaining. He's Herzog. Then we got probably one of the best matches of the night. The two best matches of the night, I would say, actually, were one after another here, which was Neil Diamond Cutter against Insane Lane. Insane Lane is a legend in deathmatch wrestling, much like Tank. My first sort of introduction to Insane Lane probably would have been the IWA, maybe Deep South or Mid South, 2005. And I very, very distinctly remember it was Tournament of Death 6, 2007. They had a match where it was Freak Show and Insane Lane, who are former tag team partners. They were, what were they called? It wasn't Vulgar Display of Power. What were they called? I can't remember what their tag team name was. I'll put it here when I can find it. Anyway, they were a tag team and they came in, and it was a CCW death match, and it was Freak Show, Insane Lane, and there was Light Tube. It was like a home run derby death match. Light tubes and thumbtack bats and guitars covered in thumbtacks. It's fucking awesome. I've always liked Insane Lane. I've always thought it was really, really good. But he came out dressed in like a... Anyway, Insane Lane came out with like a sort of dungarees, like American 4th of July, like over like attire, which was quite good. Jeff Cannibal came out. This match was fucking sick. Light tubes and fucking just doors and gusset plates and carpet strips, and there's a bit where they both hammered gusset plates in each other's heads, and they had sparklers on them, and they lit the sparklers up, and Insane Lane gave the salute, and they played Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. And it was amazing. It was a beautiful moment. Insane Lane hit a fucking awesome fucking arrow, and at the end Neil does what Neil often does, piles everything he can on top of his opponent, goes to the top, big splash, I don't know, God, I got taken over by the patriotism. And won. Awesome match, fucking great to see Insane Lane. Hopefully comes back to ICW No Holds Barred. And afterwards they both put each other over, and they both hugged, and it was a beautiful moment, a very nice heartfelt moment. It's good to see Neil Diamond Cutter wrestling these guys who are like I say old school as him. They were back wrestling, you know, back in the 2009, 2010, stuff like that. Anyway, the next match was awesome. Match of the night by a mile. The Bev versus Akira. Now, this match was the sort of personification of violence for the whole weekend. See, for me, the GCW Backyard show, which I'm going to talk about, was obviously light-hearted, funny. It wasn't taken as a serious show. It was, you know, it's 4th of July. Let's all get high and get drunk and let's throw each other in the pool and we'll all use our old backyard gimmicks and that's all enjoyment and, you know, harmless fun and stuff. Whereas ICW's No Holds Barred 14, to me, was, aside from obviously you got, you know, funny stuff for 4th of July, like Larry Legend dressing up impeccably as he always does, and you got stuff like, you know, Neil Diamond Cutter and Insane Lane with the gussets and the sparklers and things. But this was taken as a much more serious, bloody, violent affair for deathmatch wrestling rather than a sort of, ha ha ha, it's 4th of July, hee hee, come on boys, show, which I quite liked. Anyway, Bev Akira, violence fucking personified. What a match. This is probably my favourite match of the entire fucking weekend. Awesome match. Fucking beating the shit out of each other with fucking light tubes and glass and gussets and Akira's little bullet things, and it was, my god, one of the spots Akira got like a massive big bundle of light tubes, then it's big sent onto the Bev, he fucking kicked out, I think Bev gave Akira like a Regal Plex type thing through a board, nearly fucking missed, slanted on the side of it, fucking fucked his head. Akis Kogar running, and I was like, yay! He's here for this show too. He ran in, fucking went to hit Akira with light tubes, missed, hit the Bev. All the fuckery and distractions, he got German suplex, and the Bev fucking rolled up Akira, and the Bev wins again. Hooray! For Bobby Beverly. Oh my god, I've lost my Carsini Winery. That means nothing to anybody who's watching this. Matt. But my god, what a match. So happy for the Bev, and I really want that Bev XPW t-shirt. So if somebody knows what it is, somebody send me a link, because I want that. Then the next match we got, our main event, or so we thought, is John Wayne Murdoch against Dan Maff for the title. What a match, very quick match, but my Christ, light tubes. John Wayne Murdoch took a big spot with a big backdrop from the ring to the outside, through a pane of glass, through a fucking board to the floor, sick shit. Dan Maff is smashing bundles on them, throwing each other through glass on the outside. Dan Maff looked like he got like some glass in his eye. I don't know if he was just selling because he's amazing, or if he genuinely got glass in his eye. And then he fucking done it a low blow, fucking burning hammer. He managed to, and then fucking John Wayne Murdoch's rake in the eyes, hits the fucking Deep South Destroyer and wins. My god, a very quick, brutal, violent match. And we thought that was it for the night, but no. Eric fucking Ryan, the current king of the death matches, comes out with a fucking shopping cart full of light tubes and says, right, I want a fucking title match. John Wayne Murdoch says, fucking come on. More brutality, more violence. Go out your way to watch this show, by the way. It was fucking great. And then it turns to a no contest, and you're like, oh my god, because Akis comes in, the Bev comes in, and then fucking Akira comes in, and fucking Satu Jin comes in. Everybody's blasting each other with light tubes. Satu Jin gets hit by a huge fucking bundle of light tubes. And then this is just setting up for this weekend's July show. NHB match for NHB 15, which is the Rejects against 440. Now, just quickly go over my top 3 matches. Sato against Valen, fucking awesome for Mitch Valen. Sato Jin getting a big win. Just, I really want to see Sato Jin get a fucking title match, since he had a non-title match in the pit at fucking Boardwalk Buds. Heyo. Number 2. Insane Lane against Neil Diamond Cutter / Maff and John Wayne Murdoch. And then number 1 was the best match of the whole weekend, was the Bev versus fucking Akira, which is fucking awesome. Now, finally, we move on to the last show that I managed to watch, that I could watch, which was July 4th in an undisclosed location, was GCW Backyard 3. Now this had fucking 10 matches on it. It was a long show. I'm not going to go over the whole fucking show, because there's another thing with this is obviously it's a backyard thing, so everybody's using the old gimmicks that they used when they're backyard wrestlers. For me to try and keep up with who's who, with my Christ on me. So I'm just going to go over some of my top 3 favourite matches. It was a good show. I enjoyed it, but like I say, it was taken as more of a sort of comedic, funny, fun 4th of July woohoo type show rather than a serious, a serious, bloody, violent deathmatch show. But hey ho, my top 3 matches I would say would be Shane Mercer versus Ariel Crow. I think Ariel Crow's just their gimmick name. That was good. There was dives, there was flips, there a fucking moonsault, fucking follow slam thing into the pool. The referee was suplexed into the pool. There was like awesome fucking high flying bumps and shit, and there was tombstones and all sorts of shit. That was really, really good. My second favourite match was Kogar versus Kogar. Otis White, who's Otis Kogar, against Dexter White, who is Atticus Kogar, but shh, don't let anybody know that. Atticus in the Kane get up with his Kane mask, and Otis Undertaker with Undertaker. They went all out for the looks they were going for. That was really, really fucking cool. Both those guys, obviously they're brothers, wrestling each other. Like they had the little sort of sparklery skewer things got stuck in Otis's head. What else happened? There was a choke slam from Kane to the Undertaker from like the scaffold through a light tube log cabin. There's panes of glass. There was a last ride from the apron to the floor through a door. Fucking really, really good match. It was awesome. And then the main event, JJ Escobar against Jimmy Lloyd. Schlack turned up. There was lots and lots of there was a firework attack, shooting fireworks at each other, and Schlack came in, or El Schlacko, sorry, came in shooting fireworks at each other. That was entertaining. They were done like some pretty fucking sick spots, and nobody was really putting them over as much because ha ha ha, it's funny, it's 4th of July. But there was like weed whackers to the fucking head. Fucking Jimmy Lloyd's fucking groin got set on fire and got weed whackered. There was panes of glass. There was light tubes. There was lighter fluid. Jimmy Lloyd gave JJ Escobar like a fucking rolling senton, like rolling hills type move off the top of this like farm truck through some boards and tables and won. And then he threw JJ Escobar in this like horse truck thing, threw him in, and then the entire thing just exploded with fucking fireworks. And I was like, fucking hell. And then the show just ended. It's like, Jesus Christ. They're my top 3 matches. Other matches that I thought were pretty good. Very, very short Buried Alive match between Chris Dickinson and Kit Osborne, which is good, but the final spot was the grave was kind of covered with long light tubes, and Kit Osborne got like fucking Pazuzu bombed like through it. That was fucking awesome. Ricky Shane Page was against a woman who I'd probably seen like in her actual like wrestling gimmick, but not her old one. That was alright. There was a big Survivor Series match which had Nolan Edward in it. It had Ruckus. And fucking like there was so many matches on the show. There's Young, Dumb and Broke were in a big match where one of the ring crew guys, Big Vin, you've probably seen the long black hair and the big beard, were in a sort of like 6-man tag, and Big Vin was doing all these fucking cool like big moves and everything. So there's a lot of good stuff in the show, but it was just very long and a lot less deathmatch heavy than what I was used to for, you know, the other shows that I watched. Anyway, also on July 5th there was Jesus Christ, see all these fucking shows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fucking shows in the space of like 2-3 days. Fuck me. Deathmatch is alive and well. For Freedoms held the Jun Kasai Deathmatch Carnival Volume 1. So who knows what's going on with that. This was July 5th at Corrigan Hall. So I'm just going to get the results on my phone because I have not written them down. Because I'm a professional, you see, using the technology. Where is the Freedoms? So I'll just go over the main 3 matches. So we had a crazy Drunker Sting death match. And I'll put up a thing of this. This was like fork boards and just fucking disgusting shit. Takeda beat Rina Yamashita. That looks awesome. I will go over these matches in more detail when I actually able to watch them. Very, very difficult to get Freedom stuff like the next day, sometimes even a week afterwards. Then we had the King of Freedom's tag team title match. Death Penalty Weapon Assembly Self-Production Item Blood Splash Death Match. ERE, Yuki and Sakuda beat Kasai and Sasaki. That match looked awesome. I have seen a little clip of Yuki doing his fucking headbutt with a cinder block to Kasai, who is under a barbed wire board. And our main event, which I cannot fucking wait to watch. I cannot wait to watch this match. Which is a Heart Blood Sacrifice Glass Board Fluorescent Light Tube Alpha Death Match. The names of these are awesome. The names of these fucking things are awesome. Violento Jack beat Segura. Segura's lost his fucking title that he's had for fucking seems like forever now, and Violento Jack is now a 3-time Freedom's fucking champion. And once I watch these matches, I'll do full fucking reviews of them. My Christ, it sounds awesome, awesome. And before I move on to this weekend's fucking 6 shows that we've got to watch, Jesus Christ, Freedoms have announced some matches for their August 30th show, which I assume is at the Corrigan Hall as well. We have got Yuki versus Kasai 1-on-1 in a fucking death match. That'll be awesome. And the main event, because after Violento Jack beat Segura, Takeda, his Violento Jack's ERA teammate, came out, blasted him with a light tube and challenged him for the fucking world title. So on the August 30th, Takeda, Violento Jack for the King of Freedom's World Championship in a fucking death match. So that, oh my god, like it came in my fucking pants. It's gonna be fucking great. Now, fuck me, this is this fucking weekend. So, Friday, fuck me, there's so many shows. Friday, July 9th, I've got all the cards written down here. Friday, July 9th, we have GCW against Loco Wrestling as GCW presents Houston Fight Club. This is going to be on Fight TV, 8 PM Central Standard Time in Houston, Texas at the Premier Sports Arena. Quickly go over the card. So, Matthew Justice against Mysterious Q. I've never heard of Mysterious Q, that should be alright though. Brian Keith, another guy I've never heard of. I assume these are the local wrestling guys. Against AJ Gray. A Scramble, GCW's Old Faithful. Gringo Loco versus Lowrider versus Eras versus Amorous versus the Golden Dragon versus ASF. Fair enough. Joey Janela's against Dante Leon. That should be a decent match. Jack Cartwheel is against Ninja Mac. I believe this is a rematch of the last GCW show, maybe Zombie Walk. Jimmy Lloyd is against Chris Carter. Fair enough. And the main event, Nick fucking Gage, the king, the god of this shit, the future of hardcore, the king of ultra violence, against Sadika. Based on Sadika's fucking performance in ICW Olds Bar, the Boardwalk Buds, this is going to be fucking awesome. And then we move on to, on the same day, this is still July 9th, I'll be watching this show and I'll be watching the GCW show on the Monday. Because I've got Monday, Tuesday off next week, so thank fucking God for that, because there's too much wrestling to watch. This is ICW No Holds Barred 15. This is in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Marion County fucking Fairgrounds and motherfucking Event Center. I'll be saying that a lot over the next few minutes. 8 PM Eastern Standard Time. This is on IWTV. So we've got the full card. We have got, it was meant to be Brett Ison against Dominic Guarini, but Guarini's injured. So we've got Brett Ison against Vincent Nothing. Told you Vincent Nothing's already been brought back. We have got Tommy Vendetta against Dale Patricks. That'll be interesting. Neil fucking Diamond Cutter against Brandon Kirk. That could be fucking great. Matt Makowski, who's going to be against Daniel Garcia. This was meant to be Nolan Edward against Daniel Garcia, but Nolan Edwards, pardon me, got injured last weekend apparently, so he is not on these shows. We've got Justin Kyle against motherfucking Calvin Tankman. We've got Satu Jin against Tank. Fucking yes. Can't wait for that. Schlack against fucking Sick Boy from Zona 23. That'll probably be like one of the matches of the night. And then our main event, obviously, we have the Rejects, Akira, Reed Bentley, John Wayne Murdoch against 440, Ryan, Kogar, the Bev. It'd be nice if Eddie Only was there and then we could have added Satu Jin and made it 4-on-4. But hey ho! One cannot complain too much because that'll be fucking awesome. Now, this is into July. There's so many cards here on my phone. This is on to July 10th now, the Saturday, for GCW presents You Only Die Once in the Dallas, Texas, the Irving Arena. This is 8 PM Central Time. So let's go through this card. Fuck me, I'll be watching this on Monday too. Hopefully, like I said last week or whatever, I want to try and do these reviews reviews and stuff slightly earlier in the week, but just life gets in the way. And when you've got fucking 6 wrestling shows to catch up on with, so in the space of 2 weeks, 12 fucking wrestling shows. That's a fucking lot of wrestling shows, you know what I mean? Anyway, go over the card. We have got a 4-way fucking match between 4 members of the Second Gear crew. So we have Matthew Justice versus Mance Warner versus AJ Gray versus one called Manders. That'll be fucking awesome. Dante Leon's against Jack Cartwheel. Effie is against his tag team partner Ali Catch. Joey Janela is finally getting his match against Ninja Mac because Joey Janela is ready to fucking go this week. The GCW World Heavyweight Championship is on the line as we have a new fucking belt. The GCW Ultraviolent Champion Alex Colon, I'll put up here. We have an actual design now for the GCW Ultraviolent title. I would say it's not as nice as the North American Deathmatch Championship. I am slightly biased, but it looks better. It looks very nice, and I do have to get a replica of it, and it looks better than a fucking sticker. So that looks fucking sick. Very glad for that. Nick Gage against Alex Colon. That is a dream match anywhere in the fucking world. Anywhere. So that'll be fucking great. Probably be one of the fucking matches the entire weekend. Then we have Chris Dickinson against Brian Keith. I have no idea who Brian Keith is. Who knows? That might be alright. Tony Deppen against Starboy Charlie. That could be a fucking show stealer. And I don't think this will be the main event. I assume it'll be Colon against Gage, as it should be for the world title. We have Schlack against Sadika in what I'm sure will be a violent, crazy fucking match. Ugh, right, and then on July 10th on IWTV at 3 PM, we have the AWR Asylum Deathmatch Tournament Night 1. So including all this shit with ICW and Olds Bar, GCW, we've also got a fucking 2-day deathmatch tournament. I've already went over the whole card for this. I'll go over a review of it next week. I'm not going over the card again because I want this video to be shorter than about 3 hours. So we've got that. That's at the motherfucking fairgrounds and motherfucking event centre. So that's at 3 PM that day. Then July 10th at 8 PM on IWTV we have NHB 16. Jesus Christ, this is the fifth show of this weekend, and I'll go over the card for this. So we have Akira against Neil Diamond card. That's a fucking show stealer. Every fucking one of the matches in this show looks awesome. Reed Bentley against the Bev. Come on, the Bev. We have Eric Ryan this time taking on Sick Boy. Be fucking awesome. Sick Boy's gonna be fucking kill this fucking shit. Brandon Kirks against the new fan favourite Dale Patricks. Aaron Williams, who is meant to be fighting Nolan Edward, obviously he's injured, is now fighting Gary J. Fuck yeah, another booking for Gary J. Then we have the semi-main event, I assume, home run fucking derby, 4-way death match. And we have Tank, Satu Jin, Casanova Valentine, and now replacing Jeff Cannibal, who's also injured, is the boss, Danny fucking DeManto. Jesus Christ, what a fucking 4-way. Tank, Satu, Casanova, Danny DeManto. Holy fucking shit. Dream match shit. And the main fucking event, death match. American Deathmatch Championship match. Justin Kyle against John Wayne fucking Murdoch. Holy fuck. Ugh, then, July 11th, the AWR Asylum Deathmatch Tournament Night 2 at 3 PM bell time. Motherfucking event centre, fucking fairgrounds, IWTV. Jesus Christ. Then at 8 PM on July 11th, this is the Sunday, No Peace Underground presents Asmodeus on IWTV. And I will just quickly find the fucking card. Where are we? Why is it so difficult to find so much? Right. Fucking hell. Cole Radix against Levi Everett. Be interesting. I assume this is just going to be in a ring, not a bar or a stage or whatever. Reed Bentley against AJ Gray. Oh my god, ICW, GCW. Ooh. Cough. OVE, Jake Christ and Madman Fulton are against 440, Koger and Ricky Shane Page. Interesting. This 4-way will be fucking awesome. Ornvite, Sonico is a guy I've seen once before, No Peace really liked him. Shane Mercer and motherfucking Sick Boy. Great. 6-way scramble match. Vincent Nothing, Gregory Iron, NDC, Satu Jin, Bastard Cassidy and Sawyer Wreck. I think this is a #1 contender match. Hopefully Neil Diamond Carter wins. I assume Sawyer Wreck might win. Then we've got a 3-way match with The End, Odinson and Paro versus the Hallowed Lore Crew and Otis Kogar versus Kill or Be Killed, which is Hardway Heater and Nolan Edward. Although Nolan Edward is injured, so who knows what's happening with that. Then we have a 3-way match. Ace Perry, Ace Austin and Kevin Blackwood in a three-way. It'll be pretty fucking good. Then we have Eric Ryan defending his no-peace underground fucking title against the fucking insane Luchador. Super crazy. He's super and he's crazy. Fucking hell, that's mental. And then main event, I assume, John Wayne motherfucking Murdoch against Masada. Fucking Jesus Christ. What a fucking weekend of fucking deathmatch fucking wrestling. Now, quickly, before I lose my voice, just going over the Texas shows for ICW No Holds Barred. August 13th is going to be The Pit. It's not Pit Fire X, it's The Pit, number 3. At the 52 Bar and 52 Embassy Oaks in San Antonio, Texas. Neil Diamond Cutter called out Masada after his match with Atticus Kogart and said it's a dream match that he's never ever had. It's going to be a first time ever meeting, and Masada has answered the challenge, and we have got Neil Diamond Cutter against Masada in fucking Texas. Holy fuck. And then the next night on August 14th, this is going to be NHB in the Chains in San Antonio, Texas at the Vibes Event Center. Scott Summers, blast from the fucking past, a man who Danny DeManto had said on a ICW No Holds Barred merchandise thing. He said that Scott Summers was actually the original pick before he got injured to win the first ever Tournament of Survival. So the more you know. And Scott Summers is going to fight Schlack. Holy fuck. Insane fucking shit. And finally to the UK for Rise. This was in Eager Studios. The show is the return of England's maddest wrestling show. This was on July 3rd. And the main event, we saw a Skinny Tubes death match. Big Joe against Lou Nixon. Big Joe was dressed in New Jack attire and had a machete and a chain round his neck. Skinny Tubes, these guys are fucking insane. And Lou Nixon beat Big fucking Joe. So maybe we'll get a rematch at the Outlaw Cup, which I'm going to. And I am going to be taking at least 100 fucking light tubes down to Leeds in November for Games of fucking Death 2. Now, it's been a fucking good weekend last weekend for wrestling. It's going to be a fucking great weekend for deathmatch wrestling this weekend. Support all the companies, get IWTV, pay for fright for GCW, and as always, no deathmatch, no fucking life.